Then you have Sunnah Muakkadah, which is a strongly encouraged to be performed, for which there is a reward. Occasional leaving without excuse is blameworthy. Someone who habitually leaves it without an excuse will be sinful. So let's point this out, because when I was growing up, we were told that Sunnah Muakkadah, the emphasized sunnahs, which are strongly encouraged, you must pray them, and if you don't pray them, that you're sinful. The ruling in the Hanafi school is as mentioned here. Occasional leaving without excuse is blameworthy, which means that if you do leave them, if you do leave the emphasized sunnahs with an excuse, then you're not blamed. It's not something that somebody could say to you, you should do it. So for example, I'll give you a practical example. Some places of work may have a lunch break which is half an hour long. So in your half an hour lunch break, you need to maybe grab a bit of lunch, go for a walk, go to the bathroom, make wudu, then go to the prayer room or find a prayer place. So that's a lot of things to do in half an hour. So in that kind of scenario, you may wish to pray just the 4 fards, the fard of dhuhr, and you leave out the sunnahs. So that's a scenario where you left out the emphasized sunnahs because you have a very short lunch break. And sometimes, to be honest, I used to find it with an hour-long lunch break, because you're working somewhere. By the time you leave, you're going to the bathroom, and then you go into the wudu place, and then you go into the prayer room. Before you know it, a half hour has already gone of your lunch break. That can happen. So that, as far as I understand, that would be a reason possibly to not pray the sunnah. Obviously, if you're at home and you have plenty of time, then if you left the sunnah, emphasize sunnah without any valid excuse, then it would be blameworthy. Now, when does it become sinful? It becomes sinful at this last line for this particular section. Someone who habitually leaves it without excuse will be sinful. So somebody just does not pray their sunnahs before their fard and after the fard prayers, just doesn't do it ever, and they don't have an excuse, they have time, and that person would be sinful according to the Hanafi school, because they've made it a habit without an excuse. So if it's not a habit, it would not be sinful. If it's with an excuse, for example, their workplace, then they would not be sinful. So I hope that makes sense and possibly clarifies any misunderstandings that people may have. And the early Muslims would regard the performance of these additional sunnahs as important. So for example, Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal, who is the Imam of the Hanbali school, he is quoted as saying that he would not accept the testimony or regard somebody as being reliable if he found that they did not pray 10 sunnahs during the day. So 2 before Fajr, 2 before Dhuhr. So in the Hanbali school, you pray 2 sunnahs before Dhuhr, and then 2 after Maghrib, and then 2 after Isha. Those were the absolute bare minimum that somebody should be praying in terms of their sunnahs. And if somebody went beyond these 10, below these 10 rakats in terms of performance, then he would regard that person as not being an upright Muslim, even though they're praying the fard prayers. So it's an important set of prayers that we should take care of.